that the people send. So the next question is, how do you meet girls? Because the person puts this thing, the dating world is mad.
I'm on the person right on the dollar. The dating world is mad as well. It's a crazy place, I can't even lie. But I'm very outgoing. Anywhere the Faji's at.
He's there.
Anywhere the Faji's at.
Let me do my fake dance.
Anywhere the Faji's at. So I'm very outgoing, and by virtue of what I do, I tend to meet a lot of attractive young ladies. And, but even at that, I do not mix business and pleasure.
Fair enough.
So I try to keep business, and only one girl has succeeded in breaking those.
King Solomon.
It didn't lead to what it was supposed to lead to, but she tried. I mean, she made an attempt. Like, she tried.
She shot her shot.
When homegirl called me after that trip, she was telling me about me. She had done her homework. You know, she went on Facebook telling me about the Irede Foundation. She went on Insta, the whole 9 yards.
She didn't find a bit creepy.
Not really. I don't know. I mean, my information is out there. I put it out there. As much as I want you to know is out there.
Fair enough.
You understand? As much as
but like, you meet someone today. Sorry, don't mind me. I will still do FBI if I meet a guy. But like, the FBI, you cannot disclose the fact that you've been doing FBI work. You seem like a creep in this dating world now.
She didn't strike me as a creep. She just struck me as someone who had done her homework. If you're applying for a job, won't you go and check out her profile?
Is this a job?
I'm more than a job. What are you talking about? This is homegirl has seen potential life partner. What's more important than that?
One dating series, like, period. He said this is more than a job.
Homegirl has seen potential life partner. You're telling me that she should not do homework. Delay is dangerous. Two-Face said it. Delay is dangerous. Make they act like So homegirl now has seen this guy is looking like somebody that wants to say.
He's looking like a snack.
So let me quickly. If it's not going to work out, let me know which time.
Wow. You know what? Respect to that, sis. Like, no. I would have been fronted. I'd have known all the information, but I'd have been like, okay.
So
tell me more about yourself, and I'll be trying to lie.
So initially, she didn't come out like bang. Bro.
Okay, so she did it skillfully.
Yeah, she did it skillfully. So it was probably that's why she did it skillfully. You know, she made me do a bit of the talking, and she now.
Oh yeah, I saw. Okay, that's
you get.
Okay, that's the kind of thing I'll do.
There's some other girls like, this Igbo babe I met one. How was that her name again?
So by the way, you can see that you meet a lot of girls.
But this one was not a business trip. We met at a social gathering.
Faji.
Yeah, see, anyway, the Fajis are, trust me. Life of the party, 100%. If I know they are
trust me, he's actually not joking because he came for my cousin's wedding. And his agbada was almost like competing with the groom's agbada.
Hey, that day, I had 2 weddings that day. From there, I went to another one.
Life of the party, true.
100%. So I met this girl. We had a fantastic time. We had a conversation. Then she said something along the lines of, "Oh, I'll talk to you tomorrow." We have exchanged numbers.
Okay.
And she goes, "I'll probably talk to you tomorrow." I'm like, "Fine, call me." Then she looked back and says, "Man, Igbo babe, I don't do the chasing." I'm like, correct.
Hey, girl, I'm coming my own heart.
I'm like,
he's
correct.
He's like a good thing.
I'm like, correct. This babe, I just put me on the. So I like that line, that challenge. It was very nice.
I don't do the chasing, like, come correct, bro. Come correct.
Tell me like, I'm an Igbo babe now. We don't do the chasing. Nice one. Yeah, correct. You want me to chase Abby?
So you know what? I think that you answered the next question. The next question was saying that how do you find it hard to pick up babes? Clearly not. That question, we just move on.
No.
So you know, have you ever done like social media kind of dating, like make a profile on what are they called? Tinder, Bumble, that kind of stuff.
I don't. I mean, I have girls slide into my DM, Twitter, Instagram. I have girls slide into my DM and try to kick off conversations. Bro.
Okay, so but when they slide in, because obviously your profile on like some of the things may not show the fact that you're an amputee.
Yeah, but no, my bio says it on
Twitter,
but most people don't read
The Bible.
Yeah, they don't read the Bible.
So do you not disclose it to them? Like, okay, like, babes, like you're hollering, but this is the case.
So,
or you expect them to just have read the Bible?
I expect that they already know. So if the conversation doesn't get to a point where we speak about it, it's not something I like to bring to the fore and say, oh wow, that's not what I'm about. I'm more than that. So if for any reason, and because from time to time I drop tips about living as an amputee, and so that might then spark.
Wait. When you then say that to somebody, maybe like the person who like was trying to talk to you, as a person that maybe just gone cold, like just ghosted, because that's a new thing in the dating world now, ghosted.
I've never been ghosted like that.
So you've been ghosted?
Yes, no. So I don't really ghost like that.
Wait, is there ghost and there's ghost?
No, yeah. So there's a ghost that you just block the person. You just get out of the person's life. You understand? Me, on the other hand, I'll be there, but I'll not just give you the audience that you expect. The back and forth won't be as smooth as it is.
So if Irede doesn't reply your message,
no, I'll reply. I'm not saying I'll reply, but it might just take longer.
No, you don't reply the message the same day, babes. It's not into you. That's what it's telling you. King Solo in the action.
Stop saying these things. I have potential people that are watching this video. You make them think that it's a lie. I'm a lover.
Not a fighter.
I'm a lover. I'm not one man, one wife. One wife is the best.
No, you see the fact that someone is trying so hard to convince people. That's an indication.
Because
there is a lie.
Because you painted a picture that I am a master of philandering.
I didn't give you the name.
Well, I mean, people bear different names. That doesn't necessarily.
But even in the Bible, people that had names that were not there, they changed their name. You have not come out and officially
I've
changed your name.
disclaimed that name of time and time. Even here, I'm disclaiming it now. I've issued a disclaimer time and time again that is not me. These people are casting aspersions. I don't understand. Hi.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the next question. So okay, in the dating world, how do you get people like to focus on you and not the amputation?
That's actually quite. It's a little bit dicey.
Okay.
Because I, for one, cannot determine how the other person views me. However, the way I live my life, it is difficult to see me as a person with disability.
That's so true. Because I have to interject here. You know, I actually didn't clock the day we were talking. They had an amputation. Like, I actually didn't even realize. Like, so he's just cruising in my head. I'm like, this guy's cruising with one hand, just behaving like he's cool and everything. That's exactly what I was thinking. And even when I did find out, it was almost like because I don't view you as someone that has an amputation. But some people are stuck on that kind of stuff. And I guess that's where that question came from.
Yes, I appreciate the question because it all stems from the societal stigma that's attached to persons living with disability.
Yes.
So it's very easy for someone to see you and say, but get one hand, I share a few data. I mean, I've even had conversations where people ask about how do you have sex with one hand?
Well, like, how does that affect?
You can understand how people's brains function.
Oh, that's true.
You understand?
They think that there's something else, so everything else.
Everything exactly affects everything else. It affects you. You understand?
That's crazy.
It shows you how extreme it can be.
That's crazy. I won't put that together, but okay.
I mean, I found it humorous. So I first laughed, and I'm like, but then again, some people are very adventurous. So they like to be tossed and turned and blah. They like gymnastics.
Wow.
So in that light, it's possible that she has seen me to say, this guy won't be able to toss me about and make me.
Jehovah, the blood of Jesus.
Hallelujah. but yeah, so when I thought about it in that light, I'm like,
then you kind of like, was it? Okay, cool.
Maybe,
you kind of understand where it's coming from.
It's preference.
Fair enough. So wait, have you ever actually had to deal with someone that maybe pitted you in that situation and maybe that made you feel uncomfortable, like in a dating game show? The person be like, hey, let me just date him because
let me not date because no. I've never found myself in that position where you're dating me because And it all boils down to what I said in the
Values.
last question. Not even values, just the way I
Carry yourself.
The way, see, if you meet me for the first time, you don't even see the disability.
That's so
My
true.
family does not see my disability. I was on the phone with my cousin the other day. She sent me they were telling me about a long list of things I need to buy for them. And I'm like, you guys realize I can't move 2 suitcases anymore?
It's true, they're not even thinking about that too.
Like, people are sending me long lists. Okay, fine, I can buy everything, but how will I move this thing now? Here is not like Nice that will send driver to follow me to airport. There's no driver that will send. That will follow you to the airport. That will follow you to the airport. My Uber driver best to drop me at the gate. How will I move my 2 bags with my hand luggage and backpack? To
So
check in?
you'll get porter, you pay for porter service, big boy now.
No, that, I mean, obviously, you can.
No, but again, the fact that people are not actually thinking about that.
Yeah, it's the fact that it didn't even come to their mind. And when I said it, my cousin said, I don't see you as an amputee. As far as I'm concerned, you're like, yeah, everyone else is. So, and it's like a gift and a curse because sometimes you expect that, and these people should know. But yeah, they don't see these things.
You know what, and actually, I think this question it came in nicely. The next one says, how do you cope with everyday tasks and do you expect your partner to be a carer? Or to do would you feel like a burden? Have you ever felt like a burden to a person you've been with?
No, I do 99% of everything I need to do by myself apart from wash his hand. This is the only thing.
It's giving God the glory.
Hallelujah. So this is the only thing I would need somebody to do for me. Probably wash his hand. But in the absence of that, I found my way around it. You go to the spa, you do a body scrub once in a week. As long as I can afford it, I'll go to the spa and do a body scrub.
See, so he ain't nobody,
he
ain't
nobody.
nobody.
Ways around it. I still cook. I mean, I drive. So what do you want to do for me?
Fair enough. But you need someone to help you with some of the cooking now. You want it, but you can buy diced onions to be fair. So
there's nothing. There's chopper now. It's
true. I actually love this. Like people making inventions and it's helping everybody.
There's a food fix table now where you can. So if I want to maybe make eba, for example, there's a food fix table where I can just clamp down the bowl and just use one hand.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so there are different ways.
You navigated your life around. He don't need nobody. He doesn't want. He wants somebody.
Yeah, there'll be a few adaptations. You might need to adapt to certain things. And make some adjustments here and there. But on the grand scheme of things,
it's not a thing. Okay. Have you ever had a partner that found your disability to be maybe like an embarrassment in public? Especially like being that we're Nigerians, and Nigerians always have something to say.
So I date within my social circle first of all, and
correction.
and I believe that when we talk about the Nigerian society, yes, generally yes, but when you infuse things like exposure, level of education, and all of that, it changes.
True.
Within my social circle, disability is not seen as negative.
It's just seen as part of life.
It's just what it is. And because I have stopped dating within that social circle,
you've never really had
most of my interactions have been with people who understand.
Fair
if
enough.
anything, they're curious about it. So you have maybe uncles or brothers or sisters trying to engage, ask questions. So how do you get by? How you doing all these things? How you they're curious about it as opposed to so that's what it is. So
fair enough. So you know what? Okay, I like the fact that you talked about dating your social circle in that respect. But again, even within that social circle, sometimes you do have the anomaly of people that would have their opinions and people that maybe scrutinize your relationship. So it's almost like you're good enough to date my daughter, but you can't marry my daughter. Have you ever been in that situation before?
I never arrived to marry.
Wow. He's still for the streets, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I'm not for the streets, so I don't street anything. My days in the streets are over. They are behind me. They're behind me. We will not go back to Egypt. The Lord has brought us to the land of milk and honey. We are not going back. Never again.
I'm actually done with you. I'm actually done. I won't do this.
So yeah, I haven't had to have
that encounter, yeah.
Encounter ever, no.
I don't, again,
well, maybe because I've never approached anybody's mother or daddy that wants to marry your daughter, so
you can't really speak
tell. Maybe if, I don't know, maybe tomorrow I might go there and they'll say,
but if you bring one badass ring, they'll be like, marry my daughter, marry her tomorrow.
Come on, you know, see, it depends. Some people are blessed. She might just be copy. Which ring down to give copy that she will now say that marry my daughter. They will fling me out their window. What do So
what he said.
so yeah, I mean until I get to that point where I approach a family and say
you can't really say anything in that sense.
I can't.
Fair enough. Okay, so people now want it to be real. It says, see, the dating world is an expensive world. And like disability sometimes can affect finances.
100%.
So how have you been able to merge being financially sound and then
I'm not financially sound. Financially sound, wow.
But being
mama, don't come and
he bought tickets, came to London, doing big boy in London, financially sound enough, and then also being able to like splash up the money in the dating world.
My helper.
He's advertising for helper. I love how we've had a song for everything.
There is something that makes me come. I beg you.
Can someone come and get this dude?
I'm not financially sound.
Wow.
I'm just
okay.
I'm just going through life. I can afford the necessities. There's no luxury. The necessities of life, thankfully, I can afford it. And life as an amputee is expensive. How you jump into, like I just mentioned, how you jump into your bathroom and have your bath and wash yourself and bounce. Me, I have to think of, I need to go to this bar once a week or
because I need to get my house washed.
As much as I can afford it.
Yeah.
That's one way around it. Even these things that I'm talking about chopping tables and making little adjustments.
That they cost money.
Exactly. Those things that I term little adjustments actually cost a sizable amount of money that would have gone into
something else. Could have gone into a date.
So yes, what
in Federal Palace to sell that kind of
thing. The dating scene is very expensive. It's telling financially. You go enter your pocket, you you'll spend. I mean, you go out on dates now, even if you're going to the cinema or you're going, even if it's the cheapest of dates, but it's just one of those things that has to be done. As a person with disability,
I'm waiting for how you're going to navigate this.
It's difficult to make money, let me not even with the way Nigeria is at the moment. So so there's even the struggle of getting a job first of all, getting a means of income. So like I mentioned, right, I drive on one of the e-taxi services in Lagos. There was a time that I had to renew my driver's license, and they locked me out of their system. So apparently the system did not recognize driver's licenses for persons with disability.
But you were driving on the platform before.
So when I joined the platform, you didn't need to make a physical appearance. Everything was online.
Okay.
So I want to assume that process was done probably by a foreigner or someone, and probably the checks were not as stringent as it was years later when I renewed my driver's license. Because I renewed it, I took it, because usually you don't even need to go to the office, you just take a picture and upload it, and it's fine. So I kept putting up the picture and it kept rejecting it. So I go to their office and make a complaint. What's going on? So the lady I met initially, she took the passport, she took my driver's license, she asked for the old one. So for persons with disability, your license is a class J. For regular people, I think it's a class B.
Okay.
So she wanted to be sure that the old license
also says that
I was a so she saw it was a class J. She saw the new one, it was equally class J. She said, okay. I think she scans them and she sends it because she couldn't do anything at that point. So she sends it to whoever she needed to send it to. And told me that they'll resolve it in about a week. That she's done her bit, and I left. A week later, nothing had been done. So I go back to their office to make a complaint to say, what's going on?
You haven't heard anything
I
back?
haven't heard any feedback. So the gentleman I met at the door, this time I didn't even get into the office. So he said, let me see your driver's license. So I handed it over to him. And he collected and said, you can't drive on this platform. I'm sorry. And I go, then I ask, why? He says, because your driver we can't fill this thing in us. Our system does not recognize a class J, so there's even nowhere to put it on the system. I don't know how you started driving with us in the first place, but then he insinuated by saying that
you basically falsified it.
That I paid somebody. So he said, I don't know how you started driving on the platform in the first place, but if you have gotten somebody to do it for you, just know that that person is going to lose his or her job.
Wow.
This lingered for 6 months. It happens.
So that's 6 months of not working.
Yes, 6 months of not working. So you can imagine if I wasn't. If
you didn't have other sources of income.
Yeah, if I didn't have other sources,
that would have been a problem.
That would sustain me for that long. So yeah, I mean, it touched me.
So wait, how did you resolve that? I know you've got dating related, but how did you resolve that? Because that has a big bearing on your livelihood.
Yeah, of course. So what happened was, so interestingly, earlier that year, the president had signed an act into law, the Nigerian Disability Act. He had signed it into law in January that year, and it stated out fines for violations if you discriminate against disability as an organization. There was a fine. If you was a person to person, there was a fine. So the Irede Foundation at the time made a tweet about it. They made a tweet about it to get people aware about the law. And then I tagged the platform on that tweet to say
Twitter is effective, trust me.
To say we know that you do not accept drivers with disability on your platform, and when the time is right, we might be pushed to press charges, because mind you, all through I was trying to apply diplomacy, so nobody knew. My cousin, who was a lawyer, wanted to take it up, flood the headlines and everything, but I just felt like that was a little bit extreme. Let's try and exhaust all forms of diplomacy. So behind the scenes, I had people talking to executives, and it was just a lot of back and forth about if my car was suited to my disability, if they adjusted this and adjusted that. And it was clear that I had driven on the platform for well over a year.
At that point.
Exactly, and my ratings were up there. I make bold to say that I'm probably top 100 drivers in Nigeria.
Definitely, you hear that?
Most likely top 100 drivers.
Yeah.
So all of that, and with the way the whole thing was going, I mentioned them on that tweet to say that we know that you do not accept drivers or persons with disability on your platform, and when the time is right, we might press charges. Then Vazilo's handler came back to me quoting something about how they are an inclusive organization and blah, blah, blah.
Well, include me.
So what?
Get me earning money.
So what I just did was I just screen grabbed that conversation, all the conversations I had with them from as far back as July and early. And I put it on the timeline.
They get back to you quickly.
They go into my DM and said, "Oh, send me your account." And blah, blah, blah. This was sometime, I think it was on the 26th of December. My account was opened on the 6th of January.
They worked overtime for
that. Less than 2 weeks later. So, but you can imagine if it was somebody who did not have the kind of resource that I had, because even in as much as I could talk to execs but I still did not get the desired result. I imagine somebody who did not have that
any connect with them,
who, as they told at the door, you cannot drive on this platform.
They just give up.
They just gave up, and interestingly, there might have been people like that.
That's true, actually.
There might have been people like that who could not do anything about it. So imagine the impact it will have on their quality of life and how that will translate to their ability to finance themselves, which then leads to the question of how they're able to finance their relationships, and so
essentially, like it takes a lot to actually navigate life with a disability, and then obviously then navigating everything else that comes with life.
Yeah.
But you know what? You've done this very skillfully, and I love the fact that you continue to do it with the biggest smile, like making everyone happy. Like it's just amazing.
I'm not your conventional person with disability. I enjoy a certain level of privilege. My family, we're not the wealthiest, but we're alright.
You're right. That's true.
We're not the wealthiest, we're alright. And I tap from that. I'm privileged enough to tap from that. So a good number of my needs are being met, but not everybody
has that
not
privilege.
everybody has that privilege, and when you take Nigeria into consideration and the way the country is moving now, it even gets more difficult because I mean I'm doing, like I said, I'm working 3-4 jobs, but I can only get enough to get by because I'm already accustomed to a certain type
level of lifestyle.
So I'm just making enough to get by because grand scheme of
that's why you're not right for marriage. Is that the reason why?
You join, you follow. Because with my meager income, how much I want to say they buy land? E-taxi money I want to buy land.
You want to buy one in Ikoyi. It's not banana, I thought it was banana line. What's this?
Banana is in Ikoyi now.
Boy, like it matter, you have to specify.
Okay, banana. How many trips I want to take buy to gather money to buy this thing?
So you give me 100 mil, and you're like chill now.
How much you keep me? How much you keep me?
I'm actually done.
So yes, and when I look at where the standard that has been set for me and how it's getting ever more difficult to replicate that for the next generation, it's overwhelming sometimes.
I feel that.
It's overwhelming sometimes because I'm doing all of this. It's not like I'm idle, but at the end of the day, man, when I check my bank account, nothing to write.
It's not reflecting on the work.
Exactly. It's nothing. You look at all this effort. Sometimes you do 12-hour shifts and all of that. You're looking at all of this and you're like, come on, man, you're just getting.
I need more for this, man.
Yeah, but then again, like you're working. It's not. I'm not doing one thing. I'm consulting for food kitchens. I'm having income there. I'm driving. Having income there. I'm doing a farm. I'm having income there. But like last year, for example, let me use the farm as last year we started the year with our projections set on the price of the dollar, the price of petrol, and the price of electricity,
but then all
which were indices for our production.
Yeah.
Right. By the middle of the year,
that's scattered.
All three had almost doubled. By the end of the year, they had doubled. They had almost fuel like dollar, and dollar had a direct impact on the cost of fuel that we're buying. Fuel, when there's no electricity, you have to run generator.
Lagos Live.
Then the cost of electricity equally doubled.
I know people were always. There was one point where people were posting their electric bill. They're like, it's not like I have a factory in my house.
Yeah.
So they actually like directly had that like bang impact. Because I was thinking that maybe there was an error somewhere.
By December when we were doing our end of year accounts,
it was
I told everybody to go. Yeah, the amount of work we were putting in for the amount of money we were making out of it wasn't making sense. So I told my partners, I told them, see, let's relax, let's see where this comes. And between that time and now, it has equally gone up. The exchange rate has gone up again.
Damn.
So it's people who are probably into exports that have a pushing effect to absorb all of that. But
that is crazy. But you know what? One thing that you did mention and I loved is the fact that you obviously support I'm going to call it wrong, the charity that supports Irede. I call it Irede, it's my head. So Irede has obviously had a great impact on how you've navigated some of the life things and also impacted other people. So I want you to tell us a bit more about that and how people could potentially support other people that are living as amputees.
So the idea behind the Irede Foundation, I'm an ambassador for the Irede Foundation, and the idea behind it is to provide free prosthetic limbs and maintain these limbs. Some people don't know that it needs maintenance.
Oh yeah, you can't just buy them.
Yeah, because you grow. These children grow. So the limb that you fitted when they were 1 would not be this same when they're 2 and 3. They grow. So as they grow, you need to
make
change these limbs and
and they tattoo them as well. I'm just trying.
And so what that does is it gives them access to education. They're able to walk to school because all our kids are indigent, so their parents are not well-to-do. Their parents are people who cannot afford
to provide
those things. So with that in mind, without those limbs, what that would mean for them would be either them not going to school at all, because their parents obviously have to face their own life, so they rather you meet them at home. Can't be backing a 6-year-old child to school, back the child.
And you have to go to work.
Have to go to work and all of that. So with provision of limbs, especially for lower limbs, it gives them mobility. So they are able to walk, play, engage. It improves their
social skills, their life skills in general.
You understand? For upper limb amputees, it makes them more comfortable. It's aesthetic, yeah, it doesn't have a function, but it has an impact. It has an impact on their mental health. It makes them feel more wholesome. We had this child one time.
Do you mind me asking, actually? I'm going to interrupt that. Okay. You never wear your prosthetics? I've never actually...
For two reasons.
Okay.
For 2 reasons. The first reason why I do not wear it is because of the Irede Foundation.
Okay.
I do not want the children and their parents or caregivers to assume that I am living my life the way I'm able to carry on because of the limb. So I want them to understand that even without the limb, this guy can drive, this uncle can do this uncle can dance.
Brosiwi can do it all.
So it's easy for them to relate on that level.
Yeah.
I do not want them thinking, because you get money, you get prosthetic limb.
Yeah.
Why?
That's why he has that advantage in life.
There's no advantage to it. So that's one reason. Then the other reason was it was just too bulky for me. I was uncomfortable wearing it. So
fair enough.
The only time I put it on is when I want to be GQ. Suit and tie and not GQ'd up. So if we're ever going to get married, for example, now, I'm not bang. When I say my GQ, so yeah, when I want to be GQ,
no, that's fair enough. So you guys provide all of that for the kids?
So yeah, we provide that for the kids. And we've covered all the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria. Over 200 children and over 100 families. So you see the disparity between families and children because some of the children are double limb amputees, so they don't have 2 legs, and each limb is counted as one.
Okay, because I was going to try to.
So each
my math skills are quite good, like.
Yeah. So when we say we've done 100 limbs but 45 children,
it will make sense.
Exactly. So you can do the maths. I was talking about a girl with the upper limb amputation.
Amputation, yeah.
So she didn't want to go back to school because she felt different, and it was having an impact on her self-esteem. So she dropped out of school. So when we gave her her limb, she became the star girl in school.
And I can imagine everyone being that she's so cool.
Exactly. So everybody now became friends and wanted to know what's going on.
That's amazing work.
So yeah.
So you know what? How can we, if anyone is watching this video, how can they actually be a part of that? How can they potentially positively impact someone's life?
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram.
I'm going to insert it on the page.
Our website is www.theiredefoundation.org.
We will put it on the screen.
Yeah, we'll put everything. I don't want to be like the NBDC guy now. But
oh my god, I forgot about that.
Then we have different what do you call them now? Different packages that you can subscribe to.
Oh wow, okay.
Where you can commit to
like making like constant donations.
Yes, the direct debit every month to the foundation.
Okay, that
so
sounds
all of
so
that
good.
is on the website. You can do that for us. So yeah, that's that about the Irede Foundation. I want to get into Big Brother so I can encourage more people to just
see. But
that's
we are Brosiwi's. We're the fan club. We're the fans.
Yeah, they don't give them.
We're the fan love.
They said
we are ready.
They said they were the Kiwis or something.
We are whatever we need to be.
So yeah. Do you take me back to when I made mention of it on Twitter that I was going to bring to the big.
Yes, and I think that sparked some questions as well.
Yes.
We got some questions from there.
So there was some controversy around it, and some people asked some very, very genuine questions.
Yeah.
Some people were very dismissive in the sense that it is not a disability show. So let them go and look for their own disability show. Leave Big Brother for us. That was the view. So this
inclusivity thing is actually like we actually need to infiltrate that mentality.
Some people don't want to. They don't. As we are.
That's why I say you can talk to my sister, but you can't marry my sister.
You understand? So there were some people who said that. I mean, I think there was even one tweet who made mention about you go feel married person will get one leg or something like that. So there were some people that were for, there were some people that were against.
Some of the questions I read was the fact that like, how will they make adjustment? Do you think you get sympathy votes?
Yeah. So there were a few questions that were very valid. So one was sympathy votes. Another one was how much adjustments would Big Brother have to make each time they have to bring in a person with disability into the house, considering the type of disability. I mean, if I were to get him, for example, this year to be upper limb, what if next year is a wheelchair? It's someone on a wheelchair, and so how much adjustments would they need to make? Then the third one was how I would participate in the activities, the games, the Friday night games, Saturday night games. So, for the question about inclusivity, when there's a way, there's a way. If they want
that Big Brother.
If they want to do it,
Big Brother Nigeria. We need fan love.
but then again, so one thing was, I personally believe that sympathy votes was a very, very legitimate concern. Yeah. I think I would garner a lot of sympathy votes, and I'm not one for that. If you're going to like me because I'm the life of the party, I shut down the building. Like me like that.
But we turn up kings and queens.
Don't vote for me because that fine boy we just get one.
Look at how he just inserted fine boy in the whole equation.
We know now. Don't you know?
We know.
And I'm the ugliest in my family.
Problem. So they would have been. So all the girls had to Lagos have scattered.
No, the boys are not in Lagos. They are in Abuja.
There's even walls.
No, they're very calm. I'm the Agbero in the family. Remaining, they're very calm, responsible people.
I can't deal with Big Brother Nigeria. We are waiting to have.
No, on the basis of sympathy votes, right? I feel like I let it slide. It's a legitimate concern.
But the thing is, like, you can't. It's almost like people that gravitate to a particular person. Because prime example. I think the person who won the last one.
See, all of them have been sympathy votes.
Because they said that
the last couple of winners have been sympathy votes. Lakon was sympathy votes.
So you know what? It is what it is. Because at the end of the day, there'll be something that makes you gravitate to somebody, and just.
But mine is just obvious now. So for the others, you cannot really argue that it is because of this reason, and you can say we gravitated towards him. But for me, it'll be clear that although even without the disability, if I entered Big Brother house, he shut down.
Exactly, he's gonna shut it down. We need entertainment like this on period.
See, you don't understand.
You know what? If the confidence for me.
See, you don't understand. If you put a camera on me every day.
We've already got Big Brother.
This is how I am on a regular when I'm in my guys. That's how I vibe. Normal. That's how I am.
I love it. I love it.
That's just how I am.
It's just how he is.
It's easy for you to like me or hate me, as the case may be.
Yeah, I think I get it because I'm similar, so it's alright. We understand you on this channel, but you know what? It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm so excited that we got to answer all the questions that you guys sent in, and we should do this again.
Yeah, but I mean, throw some other question at me.
Like, we just need to have this energy again on the channel. Don't you agree, guys?
We can talk about random stuff. We can talk about maybe navigating education, for example.
Like true.
That should be another topic. We can look at even navigating Lagos and Nigeria. It's a struggle.
It's a lifestyle.
so if we can pick every topic.
No, we're definitely gonna drag Brosiwi back to the channel because we just have to. He just has the loveliest personality like ever. I'm so glad that we got to do this, and he's acting like he's shaking solo in the building. This is the tactics. But it's been an absolute pleasure. I've loved it, and I'm so grateful that we got to do this. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video because this is what we do. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.